Need a computer from a galaxy far, far away to run this thing. All right, hands down, best comment. Another day, another apology. Honestly, if we didn't get an apology for like a AAA game coming out, I probably wouldn't even know that the game came out. Like it happens every time at this point. Once you apologize for like the same mistake, like the 5th or 6th or 24th time, is it really even an apology anymore, or are you just going through the motions? If you were flipping a quarter in the first 99 times it landed on tails, you shouldn't be surprised if it lands on tails the 100th time. For AAA games, 50-50 chance of it coming out broken or unplayable is pretty much the industry standard at this point. So you shouldn't be surprised on try 100 of flipping the coin 99 times that when you flip it on the 100th time it lands on tails. Shouldn't be surprised. Honestly, it's shame on you if you're still surprised it lands on tails. And you shouldn't be surprised that a game comes out and the PC port is just unplayable. No, I'm like really reminded of like Cyberpunk. I even had this one up. Just it reads a lot the same too. It's the same problem, just unplayableness. I think the difference with Cyberpunk is unlike Jedi Survivor, Cyberpunk was unplayable even on Xboxes and PS, consoles. So at least Jedi Survivor is only unplayable on PC, thank God. But do you really think do you think like one of the designers, one of the coders is like driving home today really contemplating like his role in making this game and not having it come out the way he wanted? Like he's really deeply sorry and he's asking for forgiveness from higher powers? I really doubt that that's happening tonight. I mean, Steam's exactly where you would imagine it to be. Terrible reviews. Obviously, Steam. No, everyone on Steam's on PC. Okay, so like everyone's gonna have problems with the game. The game, by all metrics, is a decent game. Single player EA story game. Aren't that many? They hardly make any more of those as it is. But these are not helpful at all. Runs like my ass after Taco Bell. Pretty much sums it up. Great comment. Top funny comment, man. I'm not your beta tester, EA. Seriously. There's a lot of reasons why this is happening, okay? Like, beyond just EA just not wanting to spend the money or the resources to basically test their game, I actually have a running theory of how this actually works. So, basically, everyone who's designing the game, all the coders are in the laboratory working on Jedi Survivor, working hard, I have no doubt. But the thing is, they all probably are using the same type of computer, right? They all probably have like the same type of desktops. They're all super high end, obviously, to be working on this kind of thing. So they're all using high end PCs, right? Not only that, but they're most likely using like the same kind of equipment. Maybe not the exact same graphics cards, but like certainly like they're all probably on Intels or whatever, or Radeons, GeForce, whatever. They're all probably working with the same kind of stuff, all right? And the reason they do that is because it's just easier for, the game, whatever build it's in, to be moved from one computer to the other, where there's no difficulties of like running it. Because obviously if you take a game in like a kind of vulnerable state, move from one PC to a different PC with all different specs, it might have problems. So I get it, right? But the problem is, because you're running the game only on basically one type of computer build all the time, or one type of schematic, or all the specs are the same, you don't have a chance to basically play the game on different types of builds, okay? Everyone's PC build is different. There are probably millions of different configurations of PC builds out there that are trying to run this game at the same time. That's why playing on console is so easy, because every Xbox X is exactly the same. Every Xbox S is exactly the same, okay? So they have about like, if you include new gen and old gen, like 6-10 different consoles to basically make this, to optimize the game for, and that's easy. But if you take my CPU, my motherboard, my RAM, my monitor, my graphics card, my memory, if you take those 6 components, my combination of those six components are probably like totally unique on the planet. Like, there's probably no other combination that's exactly like mine, right? Now, try to make a game for my specific build and then times that by a million or whatever, how many they sell, because everyone's specs and monitors and frame rates and GPUs and whatever, everything's, it's all different, okay? So it's you would think it's impossible to do. I have a solution. I really do. This is really not that hard, okay? First off, beyond just playtesting, which I think certain companies are just giving up on wholly on doing, it's clear that EA doesn't playtest their games. They don't do any kind of playtesting, no beta, nothing. Give the game, the finished game that you're going to release, give it to your engineers, your coders, your designers that actually built the game. Let them take it home and let them test the game on their home PCs or home, even their laptops, even their gamer laptops if they got it, okay? Because I guarantee you that is a more diverse group of PC parts than whatever they're working on at the office. Because at the office, you have to assume they're all the same type of builds because they're all super high end, because they're all working on the same thing. But at home, you could have a huge diverse amount of different PCs at different powers, low end, high end, you know, Intel, Radeon, GeForce, everything, right? So you let them take it home. You do some testing on that, you get numbers on that, get the crash reports, get the regular reports, and then you have a good amount, a good chunk of data you can look at and say, hey, this game doesn't run good on PCs that aren't $10,000 that don't run at the office. We might need to delay the release of our game if people want to play it on day one. Maybe we should look at this data and do something about this, or a day one patch. But nobody does that anymore. Most of the time, I don't know a AAA game comes out until an apology letter is already sent. I always buy PC games late because they are never optimized for PCs ever, okay? Like 95% of games. No surprise this game is not working. Another apology letter comes out. Another, we'll fix it when we get to it, guys. We're really sorry. Come back to us soon. The game you just bought for $70, by the way, $70 now the standard for PC games. Thanks for paying us money. Like, good luck. You're the beta tester now. The thing is, if you come back to this game in a year, somehow miraculously it'll be optimized for every PC on the planet. So I don't really believe that, like, oh, because consoles are all the same and PCs are different, they don't have the data enough to do it, to optimize for every PC, you know, build, because a million different builds, everyone's different. Like, that's just not true, because once the game's out there and they've been given a few months, then they can get it right. You can do beta testing. It just costs money and time, like, and they don't want to do it. So, like, just be upfront about it. Like, hey, like, we don't feel like testing this game. We don't feel like optimizing it for PC players. Fuck y'all. The game will be good in 6 months, but buy it now because we need the money to keep going with our next disaster that's coming on the way. Game runs as well as Brandon Fraser in The Whale. See, this is the only upside of a game coming out that absolutely flops in their PC port, is the comments on Steam are just brutal. If you want developers to stop releasing unfinished games like this, don't buy it, says the guy who bought the game and has 14 hours on record.